After the fire of revolution, the Abbasid throne still trembled. The black banners had triumphed. The Umayyads lay in ruin, yet the new empire was fragile. The first caliph, Abū al-Bisal, ruled briefly. His reign marked by vengeance and blood. When he died, his brother Abū Jaʿfar al-Manṣūr rose to power. Calm where his brother was fiery, patient where others were rash, al-Manṣūr was a man of iron restraint and clear vision. He would become the true architect of the Abbasid Caliphate, the builder of its empire, its capital, and its lasting order. He found the Abbasids as revolutionaries. He left them as rulers. When al-Manṣūr took the throne, the new dynasty stood upon uncertain ground. Al-Manṣūr knew that no throne could stand so long as another man held such power. At first, he praised Abū Muslim publicly and invited him to his court with promises of honor. But when the general entered the palace, the doors were sealed. The caliph accused him of arrogance, of rebellion, of disloyalty. Abū Muslim protested his innocence, but al-Manṣūr's voice was cold. "You have killed my brother's friends, and now you seek my crown. There cannot be two kings beneath one sun." At a signal, the guards struck him down. His death shocked the empire, but no one dared rise in his name. From that moment, all power flowed to al-Manṣūr. He crushed rebellions in Syria and the East, broke the elite uprisings, and dealt with rivals within his own house. The Umayyads had ruled from Damascus, but its heart lay too close to old divisions. Al-Manṣūr sought something new, a city between the Arab world and Persia, between the rivers of knowledge and the sands of empire. His scouts found a site on the banks of the Tigris, where trade routes from every direction converged. At its heart stood the caliph's palace, the Golden Gate, and beside it the great mosque, symbolizing the unity of power and faith. Around them, in perfect symmetry, the city walls rose, massive brick and earth ramparts, gleaming under the Mesopotamian sun. When the last stone was laid, he named it Madinat al-Salm, the city of peace, but to the world. It would simply be known as Baghdad. Poets said it was as if the earth itself had been carved into order by his will. The round city became the jewel of the caliphate, a city where merchants, scholars, and travelers met under the golden domes. Where every road led inward to the heart of Islam, al-Manṣūr ruled with unmatched discipline. He dressed simply, lived modestly, and counted every coin in his treasury. A ruler, he said, must save for the drought as much as he spends in the flood. He distrusted flatterers and silenced those who spoke carelessly of power. Many feared him, but all respected him. He could quote the poets, discuss theology, and yet strike with the precision of a general. When one courtier tried to remind him of his victories, he replied, "Do not praise me for what I was forced to do. Praise me if you see justice in what I choose to do." Despite his sternness, he valued knowledge. It was under al-Manṣūr that scholars from across the empire began to gather in Baghdad. Translators rendered works of medicine, philosophy, and astronomy from Persian and Greek into Arabic. The city began to hum with intellect, the first sparks of the golden age to come. Others rose in Persia and the mountains, but all fell before the caliph's relentless order. He built fortresses, roads, and canals, not for show but for control. His empire stretched firm from the Atlantic to the Indus, bound by his authority. By the end of his reign, the Abbasids were no longer a faction, they were the world's mightiest power. In his old age, al-Mansūr set out for pilgrimage to Mecca. He travelled simply, wearing no crown and carrying little wealth. On the road, he fell ill. His courtiers wept, but he told them, "I leave behind what I built, a city for knowledge, a throne for justice, and a name that will be spoken after I am dust." He died in 775, buried near Mecca, far from the round city he had made eternal. Baghdad, the city he imagined and shaped with his own hands, became the beating heart of the Muslim world. It would outlive him, outshine the empires that came before, and bear witness to both the rise and fall of dynasties. Al-Mansūr was not loved, but he was obeyed. He ruled without mercy, but with purpose. He left behind a city that became a symbol of civilization itself. Where his brother had poured forth vengeance, al-Mansūr poured forth order. If al-Saf was the spark, then al-Mansūr was the architect, the man who built the Abbasid world.